We are here with Hannah. She's in England. Thank you for doing this interview. I really appreciate it. You are someone who participated in my live emetophobia workshop, which is now available for people to watch and see. It was a 10-week workshop, and we started back in October, so maybe 6 months ago. And you were gracious enough to share with us your story, how you've been doing. So thank you for being here.
Okay.
So can you tell us a little bit about how long you've had emetophobia for, and how was it as a child, teen, and as a young adult?
Mhm. So I have kind of had it for as long as I can remember. I remember even when I was at primary school, like if a kid was to get sick, I would be crying, saying I wanted to go home, but I was too young to really understand what was going on. And then as I got older, it got more into like I understood what I was scared of, and I started to look up ways where I could prevent myself from getting sick. And at the time, I thought I was doing myself a favor by developing all these safety behaviors, well, what I know now as safety behaviors. And then it kind of hit its worst last year when I moved out and I moved to university and I suddenly had control over where I went, what I ate, and I really held back on what I did because there were no consequences to me. No one knew if I wasn't really doing much, if I was cancelling plans and things. So I got in a bit of a pit where I found it difficult to leave the house and things last year. And that was kind of when I decided I wanted to do something about it.
So you had trouble leaving the house? Were you not going to school?
Yeah, that was one of the biggest problems was my attendance last year. I managed to do it a lot of the time, but I would the night before be really nervous about going in. I would have to sit and really calm myself down to get to sleep. I would often be on the phone to my friend or my mum being like, I can't do it, I don't want to go in. And then the morning of, I would set my alarm 2 hours early to get up and firstly figure out if I was ill or not, which looking back now, I know is ridiculous. But yeah, I would set my alarm, figure out if I was ill or not, and then spend about an hour trying to calm down before I left the house. And while I did manage to do it a lot of the time, whilst I was out, I was not present. I was really just in my head, caught up about other things. And I would often have to go and stand outside and take a minute or leave early and things like that. So
So
yeah, that was when it was.
you were constantly thinking about throwing up and what if scenarios and things like that.
Yeah, and wherever I was like, what I need to sit somewhere where I've got a clear exit. Where's my nearest bathroom? Where's the nearest bin? Where's the nearest door? A classroom where I was maybe on a different floor to the door or the toilets would make me really nervous. I remember one particular time I had to go to a classroom I'd never been to before, and it was like 2 flights of stairs away from the door or the nearest toilets, and I was terrified and I was sat outside while everyone else was going in, and I was like so nervous about going in. And while I did do it, I was not present in that time at all. I was constantly thinking, do I feel okay? Do I need to leave all the time?
And I'm assuming you were having a lot of physical symptoms as well.
Oh, 100%. I was feeling sick all day, every day.
So nauseous.
Yeah.
What other physical symptoms do you remember having on a daily
Um,
basis?
yeah, feeling nauseous. A big one for me was I really struggled to tell the difference between hunger and nausea. So I wouldn't eat because I thought I felt sick, and I would just continually get hungrier and hungrier. But really, I thought I was feeling sick all the time. Um, I struggled with my sleep quite a lot. I never really have struggled getting to sleep, but I would wake up a lot in the night. And if I woke up in the night, I thought it was because I was ill, which would make myself feel sick. And then I would be like, well, I can't go back to sleep. I would make myself sit up in bed. The amount of times I would make myself fall asleep sat up because for some reason I thought I wouldn't get sick if I fell asleep sat up. Get a lot of dizziness and just overall just not feeling present, I think was the biggest thing. And I remember I would say to my friend, like, there's something wrong with me. I feel sick every single day. I feel sick every time I eat. I feel sick every time I go out. And at the time, I genuinely believed that that was how I felt all the time.
And did you have less of an appetite, or did it impact your eating in some ways?
Literally. So yeah, if I obviously I had the issue of misinterpreting hunger and nausea, and like any sensation in my stomach, I would be like, right, I can't eat. But obviously, hunger is a sensation in your stomach anyway. So it did massively affect not only when and how much I was eating, but also what I would eat. Um, I've been vegetarian for the majority of my life, and that's not because of this, but I cut out fish. I have always eaten fish, but I cut out fish, cut out prawns and things that I do really like. Really struggled with raw vegetables, found that really difficult. Um, Anything that had been open for more than a couple of days, like the amount of food I'd wasted as well, because I thought it might have gone off or something.
Mhm.
So yeah,
Did you lose weight?
yeah. Um, I've never been one to keep on top of my weight massively, but my parents definitely noticed that I had lost some weight. Yeah.
And did you struggle with fears of germs?
Yes, I mean, that was mainly where my phobia stemmed from, the fears of germs. Like I'm scared of food poisoning as well, but my main thing is like getting a stomach bug. And it's not even like norovirus germs, it's any germs that could make me ill because in my head, like it was like if I get a cold, I could get sick. If I get the flu, I could get sick. Like I could think of a reason why I could get physically sick with any illness that I got. So it was any germs really.
And did that require you to wash your hands excessively? Yeah. Did your hands
Yeah.
get red or cracked or dry?
Yeah. I used to get like contact dermatitis on my hands.